welcome back everyone to depression-youarenotalone.com. To my left is Shannon.
Who's Shannon?
Behind the camera is John, and my name is Lou. So we want to talk today about...
Wait, stop.
Yeah.
Let's say Happy Halloween, because Halloween is like in 2 days, so Happy Halloween.
Oh, we got some Halloween music for Monday on the website.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Starts off with Monster Mash.
Okay, so you can go to our website, depression-youarenotalone.com, and on Monday it is?
On Halloween. You listen to an hour of Halloween
yeah.
music.
And,
or Halloweenish.
and actually last Halloween...
We should have put our wigs on.
We dressed up. No, it's too hot.
Yeah, it is hot. It's like 90 degrees.
Yeah, we're in Florida, so it's really hot. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about, we've talked about so many times, all the time, about getting help. If you need help with mental illness, if you have battling depression, anxiety, whatever it may be, and family, friends to get people help as well. We did a poll on Twitter, I believe it's about a month ago.
3 or 4 weeks.
Maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And the question of the poll is, where I live, help for mental illness is, and there were 4 choices. Easily accessible, difficult to find help, unaffordable, and unhelpful. Okay, those were the 4 choices. The biggest number that came up, something we've discussed many times, difficult to find help, which was the biggest number on the poll. Right? Remember how many times I've said, suggesting people go get help, go find help. And I've even said, and I understand because people have told me, that's easy for you to say that, but where I live, it's very difficult to find help.
In some places, if you're looking at, for say, psychiatrists.
Yes, and that's what we're going to discuss.
Not taking new patients.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Exactly.
That's a big one.
That is a big issue, and I'm going to say this, it's a big issue where we live as well. And we live in a highly populated
very highly populated
area. To find a actual psychiatrist that you can actually go to sessions with them. Very, very difficult. Now, so that came in at 48.1%. That's almost half. And that is with telehealth. So could you imagine, if we go back 3 years before the pandemic, what that number would be?
Yeah, before telehealth took
Before
off.
telehealth. Now, the second, this is funny, the second number was easily accessible. That's probably where the telehealth part came in.
Sure.
Where people are like, no, it's easy for me because I can just go online, boom, 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 set up a session with a therapist.
Yeah.
Number 3 was unaffordable, and that only came in at 14.8%. Now, came in low because obviously that's not a priority for people because so many people have insurance. People that do have insurance with no copay are not worried about the cost, right? Biggest problem is actually finding someone. The lowest number at 7.4%, which was nice to hear, was unhelpful. Very small number of people that saw therapy as unhelpful. Again, not a priority because some people maybe didn't get help. So being unhelpful, that wasn't an answer. Yeah. It's very difficult to do polls because there's so many...
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah, there's so many variables there. It's so hard to do an accurate poll. But see, and to me, the difficulty in finding someone is the other issue too. There are people that need medication, right? So a session with a therapist that cannot prescribe you medication is an issue.
Of course.
Now, for those out there, my suggestion is this. If you cannot find a psychiatrist or a therapist where you can actually go sit with them, do telehealth if you have to. If you need help, get the help now. Do it. Yeah. You're not married to it. You're not married to it.
And not only if you're going to go to the telehealth, search the different telehealths because there's different prices on it.
And if you have insurance, a lot of them will take you.
But if you don't have insurance, then shop that. Just like you shop other things, get the best price because not everybody is super duper expensive. You have to really search hard for it.
I've never used this stuff, so I don't know. But can the telehealth people refer you to a real psychiatrist?
Well, this is what I'm trying to say. Well, you can be speaking to some telehealth in Florida, and they're in California.
Or India, or wherever.
So they're not necessarily close by. Now, I spoke to a therapist. Last time I spoke to him was about 2 weeks ago. And him and I were just throwing ideas around, talking about things. And I asked him, I said, because he does telehealth, but he also does sessions. Mm-hmm. And he told me that most of his friends, therapists that work with him and that he knows, many of them do not want to do anything but telehealth anymore. And listen, I get it. You're working from your house, right? Working from their home.
Of course.
And all of that.
More conducive to, yes.
But I also asked him this question. This is why I suggest for those folks, if you can get in with a psychiatrist, especially if you need medication, or a therapist, if you can sit with them. Because I asked him this, since he said he does work, he enjoys having face-to-face with clients.
And the comfort of his
in
home.
Sessions. No, he works from the office.
Oh, he works from the office.
There's a thing when you're face-to-face with a psychiatrist or a therapist, and that is on difficult questions. This is what happens sometimes. When you're asking someone something, if you're a good psychiatrist or a good therapist, when you see a person's body language, they're uncomfortable. You know? Their eyes, they won't make eye contact with you. Those are triggers that, this subject right here is making this person uncomfortable. Follow up on it. You know what I mean? I think you lose a lot of that in telehealth when you're not with a person.
You do.
You know, because
it's not as personal either.
It's not as personal, but it's there are giveaways.
Yeah, I get it.
That people give away things. They may say, "Oh, no, that doesn't bother me," and they're in their seats. They're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They're looking up at the ceiling. They're looking to the sides. But that, to a good psychiatrist or therapist, is a giveaway that this subject, there's something here.
And then person's session makes for a better diagnosis. I mean, that's pure and simple.
Of course. But I still say this. If you cannot get a session face-to-face with a therapist or a psychiatrist, do telehealth if you need help. Do it. Like I said, you're not married to it. When you do find someone, you can then, switch over to a therapist or a psychiatrist that you found close to home, hopefully. The other thing about therapy, which happens so much, is someone will go to a therapist, didn't feel good about it, right? Because they didn't gel or they didn't click. You've been to a few hundred therapists, haven't you?
Oh my God. If the therapist doesn't gel with you, as he says, that is such an old term,
she's on a blacklist
then
now.
Find another one. That's what's great about it. You can get rid of that one and find another one.
And she's been blackballed. None of them will see her.
Oh my God.
With
who
me,
are you people?
With me, I had 2 psychiatrists that both died.
Well, okay, then what does that say about you? You're talking about gelling, and you're
well, it's not like I walked
indirectly killing psychiatrists.
It's not like I walked in there and they're like, oh,
but that was 2.
Just overwhelmed.
That would make me think,
my issues.
Do I want to see this patient? Because the last 2 psychiatrists have died.
The last guy was a pill mill, so that worked.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but they both died. So do I want to take him on?
I could never find a third one because, as we know, plane crashes happen in 3s. Celebrities die in 3s.
I wouldn't see on
So
the
I
third.
think these psychiatrists are going, wait a minute, there's 2.
Exactly.
I don't want to be that
call
third,
it a halt.
so I'm not going to do it.
I'd dish you away too. You're on your own.
It's therapist, and he is close to us, semi-close to us, but I talked to him over the computer. We did it over the computer. Throwing around ideas, and he agreed. He said, yeah, that's why I do like to sit with people, because I can see how they're reacting to questions and certain subjects. You can tell in people's body language, in their eyes, things like that. It's important. But again, if you can't find one, do telehealth if you have to, if you really need it. And if you ever find yourself, of course, with suicidal thoughts or anything like that, the suicide hotline is 988. And that's, please, if you have a family member, friend, remember that. We have
911, depending on how serious it is.
Or 911, of course.
Oh, we all know 911.
But let's take this seriously, because I think at times things are not taken seriously enough when it comes to mental health. When I watch the news or on social media, I see spurts of mental health, like it's a fad, talking about it this week, and then next week, or they don't really talk about that much anymore, and then something happens, and then they talk about it again. This is real.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing thing. Probably not getting better. Probably getting worse.
It's not going away.
Probably getting worse with the stresses that everyone goes under. Not just the economy. It's everything. You know.
All a combination of stuff.
It's a combination of so many things. But there's help out there. The telehealth. I am not a huge fan of telehealth. Are you?
I think it's incredible. I think it's absolutely incredible, because for those of you that cannot leave work, if you have to do it on your lunch hour, or whatever the case may be, if it's not conducive to your lifestyle, you get onto telehealth. Okay, I can go down and sit in my car.
No, for certain things.
Because I can't, of course.
Certain things.
I think it's great. I think they should have done this eons ago.
Now, listen, for certain things, I think it's awesome. I had a sinus infection, remember? Couldn't breathe out of my nose, couldn't breathe out of my nose. And then make a doctor's appointment. They're like, okay, yeah, next week. You can come in next week. I set up an appointment. They called in my prescription for my sinuses. And
I went
later that night and got my prescription. That was awesome. That was...
I guess it depends on what the situation is, of course.
No, but when you're dealing with mental health, people, like I said, people need medication and they can't get it. It
depends on the...
It's an issue. Another thing you should also do, too, is if you call a psychiatrist or a therapist in your area and they say they're booked, ask them if there's someone else they can refer you to.
Of course.
An associate or somebody they know that is taking patients. Because this is a problem when people can't get help. You know, they can't get help. But we got to do something. Got to do something. Can't do nothing.
Yeah, but the nice thing about telehealth, for those that may be uncomfortable going into a doctor's office,
yes.
they may not know what they may not know the process, or they feel embarrassed, or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
Doing it in your own
comfort zone.
Yes, at your home where nobody's around you. There's comfortability there. There's nothing. It's just a comfort zone.
Comfortability?
Comfortability in your own home.
And you know what? It could be like
your safe zone.
It could be for someone new to therapy as well, who may need therapy for quite a while going down the road. Like you said, they're comfortable, right? They're in their own home. They feel safe in their own home. They don't. Maybe they're not embarrassed. They're not embarrassed. And when the session is over, they're home, right?
You close your laptop and you're done.
And so it could be a good starter. Maybe down the road you get off of telehealth. And then when you can actually find someone, but you already have a little experience under your belt, right?
You know what to expect.
Of what to expect, things you've discussed, things maybe you discussed that were difficult to get out. Now when you meet with a psychiatrist, something easier to discuss. So I agree with you 100% on that. It's great. I mean, let's face it, everything is great or terrible. It depends on the situation, and in anything, right? In anything at all. There are foods that to me are wonderful, and there are people that are allergic to them. So.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You never know. But
that just leaves more lobster for the rest of us.
But or peanuts or whatever.
Screw peanuts.
But the unaffordable, like I said, there are people that when you have insurance and you have no copay, no expense whatsoever out of pocket.
That's very helpful when you don't have that.
Oh, yeah. We have insurance. We don't have any copays.
No.
So. For Shannon, that's great. She'll bankrupt the insurance company, but
you can never bankrupt an insurance company.
I don't even know who you are.
I think she's working on that one. No, I'm just kidding. No, a little bit.
Talk to the hand. Is that what they used to say back in the day?
I don't know. I'm not cool anymore.
I'm not cool either. I think that's so old school, but I just had to say it.
Well, we're getting up there, right? Whatever was cool 3 weeks ago is now. Oh my God, that was so 3 weeks ago. So I can't keep up with this.
Yeah, no, we're not cool. We're not hip.
No, not anymore.
Yeah, chances are it's probably already been canceled anyway.
I know.
Cancel culture.
Yeah. Well, Now, if you have any questions, if you want to write an article, explain your experiences,
Please do.
you could email us at who is a contact?
Just go on the website and post an article.
Tell your story.
Right, but if someone wants to email us,
Yeah, it goes to the email
okay.
when they
And
post an article.
you can email us, but if they don't want to post an article, they just want...
No, it's an email where they'll send. That's the email for posting articles. They write the article as an extension on the email. As not an extension.
So John,
Okay, why don't you keep talking about posting an
no,
article?
John obviously gets all this stuff. John tells
I'm telling
Lou
you not posting an article. They just want to email us.
Yeah, submissions for posting an article. You can include it as an attachment. Now, if just a regular email, just go to the contact us page and.
Right, that's
And
where I'm
that's
trying
where
to
you
get. I don't
pick them
want
all
to
up from.
jump through all these hoops to get there.
But
Well,
That's what I'm
he's
saying.
the one that-
Send an email.
He
There's
does all the back work.
There's a specific area just for submissions, for article submissions.
Yeah.
Keep
Right.
everything.
If you want to post an article, or if you just want to send us an email about something or something to talk about.
John will handle it.
You want your name mentioned. You don't have to give your last name.
No.
You never have to give your last name. You can say your name is so-and-so from what city you're from. If you want us to mention your story or discuss your story on one of the podcasts, we can do that too. Again, you don't have to use your last name, so nobody's going to know who you are.
Absolutely. It's nice to get the words out there.
And not only that, sometimes to share your experience.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes to type it. I was going to say put it on paper, but nobody writes anymore. To type it, to just get it off your chest is helpful sometimes. So
Best thing to do is just start a journal.
for some people,
For some people.
Start a journal. You can see
Your progression.
how you're doing,
Yeah.
and then you can, you know what? And maybe a year from now, you just feel fantastic, but you can look back to where you were. I know a lot of people push this. Never look back. Never look back. Always look forward. Great. In a lot of things, I agree with that. But in a lot of things, I think looking back is to why I was there, right? You following me?
And then you can say, look how far I've come.
Why I got to this point.
Yeah. From here to
I
here.
don't want to get to that point ever
Right.
again.
Or
I'm going to remember that. I'm not going to linger on it or have it consume me, but I'm going to remember what I did, what I shouldn't have done, to not do it again. So looking forward, absolutely, always look forward, always look forward. But certain things we still have to go and look back, because it's helpful. Learning from our mistakes, or learning from maybe there weren't mistakes. It was just, hey, I was in that situation 6 months ago because I had a lot going on, and I'm better.
It's insights you can share with other people. They're in the same boat.
And not everybody wants to do that. And
yeah,
I
but
understand.
those that
You
do,
can.
that haven't done it, please share it because we can
Absolutely.
talk about it. You'll get different opinions or different ideas from other people, which is what people should want.
There's not enough people discussing mental health.
Yeah.
Well, because
so
a lot of
write
people are
to us.
embarrassed about it. They're still embarrassed about it. And a lot of people just are, they try to deny it, that they have any problem whatsoever. And then it can hit you like a ton of bricks. And
So let's talk about
that's
it before
why I
that happens.
suggest always to get help. Don't be embarrassed. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
Oh, God, no.
And if you can share, many people do on YouTube and other social media sites, you could find it very therapeutic.
Yeah.
I do this. I decided to do this, 2 years ago or something like that. We started doing this because I wanted to share my experiences, and I've always said this: if I could help one person,
Yeah.
if one person can help another person, and then that person can help one other person. I said this before: we're not here to change the world or save the world, but just do
Of course not,
what
but
we can.
We just want to get, yeah, exactly.
And also to put it out there that, the name of our website is You Are Not Alone, because so many times with mental illness, especially depression,
Feel alone.
you feel alone. And
But you're
sometimes
not.
you feel like it's just you. And like I said last week or 2 weeks ago, you go out, you see people, everybody looks happy. You don't know that. Okay?
That's true.
You don't know that they are.
That is true. Some of them are miserable.
You can see people in the grocery store, grocery shopping, and you don't know what's going on in their lives. So hey, stop doing that. that feeling of it's just me going through, can you please stop doing that?
No, picking
Playing
the
with your
toes?
feet.
No.
Again, I'm going to get the gag.
You're doing peeling the.
No,
Okay,
okay, stop.
please,
Jeez. It was nail polish. I was trying to get the nail polish off my toe.
Well,
It was bugging me.
There's stuff for. There's
Okay, you
chemicals
guys
for
went
that,
south
okay?
on this really quick. It was just a chip of nail polish that was bugging me, and I was trying to get it
I feel
off.
like I fell off a cliff.
No! Holy moly, macaroni.
So anyway, this episode is short, but I did want to discuss that poll. Like I said, polls are tricky, difficult to find,
Yeah, very, very.
but then the second one was easily accessible.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, and this is, I think those numbers are tricky too because some people need medications. Okay, yeah, I can do telehealth, but I can't find someone who's going to give me the medications that I need.
Well, it
can't just
depends.
do
Yeah, it
sessions.
depends on what
I
that
can't
type
just
of
talk
medication.
because
yeah.
talking in therapy sessions is great, but sometimes we need medications.
Yeah,
Need medication.
certain types.
Don't be
yeah.
ashamed of that either. You do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. And remember, even if you get on medication, doesn't mean you'll be on the rest of your life.
That's right.
In some cases, possibly. But if that's what you need to do, it's what you need to do. In some cases, like my case, was on a cocktail, and I'm on 0 medications. So you can get there as well. But you got to start somewhere. And suffering
Possibly
is
you
not
can
the way to go. Doing nothing and suffering is not the way to go. That's not a solution. Doing nothing is not a solution.
Yeah, you have to do something. You have to take some step forward.
Exactly.
For better mental health.
And don't ever be embarrassed.
Ever. Don't ever.
And you know what? If you don't want people to know, you don't exactly have to go and run a blimp and advertise that you're going to therapy. It's nobody's business. You tell who you want to tell. But you know what? I do recommend this. Do share your feelings, what you're going through, with those closest to you that you trust and that you know are supportive. Tell someone, share. Believe me, it's helpful for you, and maybe they can help you as well. Just zipping up and shutting down is not the way to go.
It's tough.
It's
tough.
not the way to go.
It's tough.
Listen, folks, anyone battling depression, you can get through this. You can get through this. I'm still here. Many of us are still here and trying to help others.
Ooh, it's hot out here.
So don't ever give up. Ever give up.
You're worth more than that.
You have a lot of good years coming your way. I'm not going to lie to you, there are going to be some shit days in there, mixed in there too. But that's life.
We're human,
That's life.
right? We are human.
That's life, but
Yeah.
you're going to have some great days ahead of you,
Yeah.
but just, you got to do
You
things.
can look forward to
And
those.
you know what? You need help, reach out for help. Reach out to help for us if you need to. We'll do what we can. Just do it. And please, if you know someone who needs help, family member, a friend, a loved one, partner, help them.
Yeah.
Reach out to them. Ask them questions. Talk to them. Be there for them. And there's there's strength in unity,
There sure
right?
is.
In unity there is strength.
Yeah.
So the more people you have helping you and helping each other, helping one another, the better for everyone. So we will see you again soon. And
Happy Halloween.
happy Halloween,
Again.
everyone.
Enjoy.
And be safe and be well, and we will be back again soon. And remember to visit our website, depression-youarenotalone.com. And if you can give us a follow on YouTube and a thumbs up, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Be well.